Change it up a little bit if you ever see my stuff. We're going to do something different. Tonight we're going to embed a little drinking game in it. Okay? Feel free to play along. Don't want to pressure any of you. But anytime I make a joke about the wife, we all take a team drink. Okay? So, let me give you an example. If I were to tell you that the movie Titanic reminds me of the wife, because it is a romantic movie, she makes me feel like I'm king of the world, and years ago, over 1,500 people went down on her. Team drink. Or what if I said NASCAR? The wife reminds me of NASCAR. No, not because Tony Stewart killed her. No. Because it takes 7 men to properly service her. Team drink. Okay. Now, we encourage the drinking because all the proceeds do go to the American Legion to help them out. But with that in mind, we ask you to drink responsibly. So for any of you designated drivers... This is Clinton County. We don't have designated drivers. Okay, whoever's driving home with both eyes tonight, pace yourself. It's daylight savings time. You gotta start drinking an hour earlier tomorrow. It'll be good for you. Well, what you've probably already figured out just by looking at me, I'm quite an adrenaline junkie. In the last 6 months, I was diving with sharks, hiking the rainforest, deep sea fishing, mountain climbing. I drove 24 hours in Daytona. I went to the Oscars. I was about to take part of the World Series of Poker, but they cut my cable off. Why do any of that stuff when it's on TV, right? A buddy of mine calls me up and he's like, "You up for some golf?" "Sure, what channel?" You know, I don't get blisters, it doesn't hurt, it's fine. Anything you want to do is on TV. You like cooking? They got a channel for that. Home improvements? Click. Gambling, workouts, sports, shopping. Channel, 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 channel. Yeah, there is absolutely nothing you have to do that requires you to leave your living room with the TV. And also, I love the TV. Why? Here's a shocker. The TV reminds me of the wife. Oh, she cooks like the Food Network. She has all the drama of a Lifetime movie channel. She has the personality of an ice road trucker. Oh, we love her, right? That's right, that's a team drink in case you're playing along at home. And now you're saying, yeah, we can tell by looking at you, you like TV. You know what? I get it. I'm fat and lazy because of TV and I have a good time. But that's only because of what I watch. If any of your TV viewing involves the word Honey Boo Boo or Housewives, I'm smarter than you, so I don't give a shit. And don't even get me started on the name Kardashian. Holy cow. If I would have known that being a bad porn star with a fat ass and no talent would cost that much money, I would be on a completely different career path at this point. And don't even get me started on what they did to Bruce Jenner. How in the world do you go from being on a box of Wheaties to being on a tube of Vagisil that quickly? That's embarrassing. Vagisil. Speaking of irritating cooches, don't make me say it. Just drink. I used to work out. Let me give you a hint. There were 2 workout places in town. One called Buff and one called Curves. Guess which one I was? Oh, I would go during the day, you know, because during the day, the real people are working, so I'm there with all the senior citizens. Senior citizens take working out extremely serious. There's this one girl, like, "Hi," and she's like, "Hi." And I get on the treadmill, she gets on the treadmill, she smiles at me, and I'm walking, And all of a sudden, like 10 minutes in, she's laughing her head off. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, I just lapped you, fatty. Do I need to park an ice cream truck out front to make you walk faster? Do something. And then, so I was shamed off the treadmill. So I go to the row behind her and get on the elliptical machine. She's like, you're not coming back there. I'm not going to have you staring at my ass for the next 20 minutes. She wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. So I left there. Then at one point, they got so mad at me, one of them threw a kettlebell at me. I'm like, good Lord. It was my fault. I made the mistake of not wiping down the machine. It was the water fountain, so I figured it was supposed to be wet. So they shamed me from everything. Next thing you know, I'm back on the treadmill. Do you know why I was back on the treadmill? It reminded me of the wife. They both make this god-awful sound when I first get on. After 30 seconds, they're completely covered in my sweat. I keep a magazine over the face so I don't have to see all the pitiful results. What do you say, team drink? What do you do this? So you're probably figured out by now I also quit working out. I decided, instead of me fighting and working hard so we can all be the same, I'm just going to embrace being different. There's nothing wrong with it. There's always going to be black people, there's always going to be white people, there's always going to be fat people, there's always going to be thin people. We're different, that's okay. If we were all the same, do you really think there's somebody at home, at Doherty's house, our host, that smells like him? I don't know. I hope not. Seriously, I mean, but you know, that doesn't make him a better person or a worse person, it just makes him different. And if we were all the same, do you know how many times the word morbidly would appear in your chart? I mean, 3 times at the dentist alone. So you just have to embrace the change. Here's something else. How many white guys would you see swimming to Cuba? None. None. You're going to see Cubans swimming here. They're not swimming to Cuba. We're different. How about blind people? How many blind people have you seen on the Wheel of Fortune? Nobody, right? You know, you can have one square lit up, and the rest of the sign could be Mississippi River. Vanna's sitting there smoking a cigarette, bored out of tears. Pat's pulling his hair out, and this blind guy's like, when he finds the wheel and he spins it, he's hoping the dog's leash doesn't get caught up in the wheel and kill the dog. And then the guy's like, is there an M? And they're like, yay, an M, you got it. Now solve the puzzle. Mount Rushmore? Miss Saigon? Remember the Titans? I'm blind, I can't see that board. I don't know. How many deaf people have you seen on Name That Tune? None. Yeah, how would you like to see that? Okay, Bob. I can name that tune in 47 notes. Go ahead. Go ahead, start the music.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more.
Anytime, Bob. Yeah, you're not going to see that. You're not going to see blind people. It's okay. Again, we're different. We're not the same. We're different. If we were all the same, I would never have to give up my dream on being a jockey. I would be riding my horse Scoliosis. And I'd be in the Derby. And I wish I hadn't said that. Because you know the Kentucky Derby reminds me of one thing. The wife. She loves mint juleps. She looks great in hats. And if I'm on her for more than 2 minutes, she fakes a leg injury, hoping somebody puts her down.
No lie.
Drink. Okay. I got a confession to make. You're probably wondering, you're probably sick of this game already. Why are we talking about the wife? Is it because I love her? Is it because I'm constantly thinking of her? Is it because she demands that I think of her every 10 minutes of the day? Is it because she demands to be the center of attention in everything I do and say? Yeah, Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's how she is. But for me, it's very simple. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, people. It has been 3 weeks since Valentine's Day. And how do I know this? Because for the last 21 days, I have been on the for all that is holy, will you please forgive me tour. It's exhausting. I'm not even sure what I did or said. All I know is it's my fault, and I'm going to learn a valuable lesson. That's fun. Yeah, heaven forbid, don't tell me what I did. And the sad part is I just got over being on a 7-week sorry for ruining your Christmas tour. To me, Valentine's Day is important. Valentine's Day is the one day a year that I get to express to her all of my love. And she gets to try to show me her tolerance of me. So it works out well. But it's a guessing game the whole way through. I actually said to her, next week is Valentine's Day. Is there anything particular you would like? Oh, yeah, anything. You know what I want. No, I don't. And she's like, well, don't give me a bad gift again. Again? I've given you bad gifts before? You've given me 28 bad gifts before. Oh, okay, so now I know that I'm a bad gift giver, but I also recognize that she remembered the years, so there's still a little bit of love there, because otherwise she wouldn't know that this would have been our 29th year together. So I'm thinking about it. What have I done in the past? I tried giving her candy. She won't let me give her candy because apparently candy means I'm trying to kill her. What I found out is I buy her candy, I eat the candy, and then I get a little romantic and I crush her. So the candy's out. How about flowers? I'm not getting her roses. I refuse to get her roses. If I wanted to buy her something beautiful just to kill it, I'd get her another abortion. Oh, I'm kidding. My insurance doesn't pay for that. No. It does pay for bumps and bruises that she gets and frequent falls down the stairs. Thank you, Obamacare. Jewelry. My dad gave me great advice. When it comes to Valentine's Day, jewelry is for suckers. Since you don't do that, jewelry's off the question. I'm kidding, but it also explains why my mom walked around looking like Mr. T all the time. One year I tried to get creative, and I'm like, I want to get her something that reminds me of me. She's apparently in love with me. Maybe she finds me attractive. So I wanted to get a little sentimental, so I got her a DVD box set of The Biggest Loser. I thought that, that's what, she could watch it in reverse. She could take all these really good-looking guys and watch them start exercising less and eating more until they were as attractive as I was. It would be great. And she's like, no, thank you. I'm already married to The Biggest Loser. Why don't you watch it going forward, for Pete's sake? And it's actually how I got that scar right there, but that's another story. Is everyone doing okay? You need a drink? The wife reminds me of Ichabod Crane. Sleepy Hollow. She's kept me headless for 27 years. Hello! Team drink. So finally, I'm starting to panic. 3 days before Valentine's Day. What can I get you? You've got to give me a clue. So she's like, okay, it's Valentine's Day. Get me something sexy. And I'm like, throw a stick. That's like a list of 2,000 items. You need to be more specific. Okay, maybe it's a personal item that I'm too embarrassed to buy on my own. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. And can you be more specific? Okay, maybe a small electrical or rechargeable item that you would find very sexy using on me, or when you're gone, I could use on myself. Oh, I got it. We all know what she's talking about, right? I get up early the next morning, I rush out to the store, I find a no-no and buy it. Oh, perfect. The only thing that would make that gift better is that they had one of those sweater shavers that remove skin tags. That would have been the perfect gift for Pete's sake. And I learned why they call that the no-no. Buying that for your spouse on Valentine's Day is a big no-no. Apparently nothing says, "I love you, my Sasquatch bride," like a laser hair removal system.